Hi everybody. I'm just checking to make sure I'm live. It takes a little while for everything to catch up, doesn't it? Okay, I think I'm good. Good morning. Okay, I'm a little bit early just because I like to see if I'm live. Okay, so I'm just gonna wait and see if anyone can join us. It isn't quite 10. Hi, Teresa. Nice to see you. Whereabouts are you? Are you in Canada or the US? I can't remember. It's hard for me to keep track. I thank you. You're number one on my watch today. See if anybody else joins us. It can take a while for those notifications to come in. Hi, Ellie. Ohio, happy 4th of July, Teresa. Thank you for coming on your special holiday. I appreciate that. Hi, Sharon. Hi, Janet. Good morning. Beautiful day here. Hi, Mo. Okay, I'm just going to wait for 2 more seconds and then we will get started. Hope you're all doing well this morning. We're doing our Sunday sketch. This is the sketch that I'm using this morning. If you go to my blog, Stamp Crazy with Allison, hi Gail, you will see Patsy's interpretation of this sketch today, but I'm going to do a different card, okay? I hope it's not too hot. I didn't check the temps in Toronto today. And I didn't even check the temperatures in Vancouver. It's beautiful. I don't know. I don't think it's too hot out there. Not sure. Okay, let's get started. So I'm going to be using, for my sketch, I'm going to use the Artistically inked stamp set and the artistic dies. These are the bundle or the suite that Patsy Wagner and I are using for our free cards this month. So whether you're in the US or Canada, you can earn a free PDF just by making any value purchase in one of our stores. So if you go to my blog today, Stamp Crazy with Allison, you'll find the links for both Patsy and I, depending on where you live. Oh, it's coolish there. Oh, well, that's good, Mo. It's better not to be too hot, right? Okay, so let me show you, because this sketch is, there's a lot of interpretation here for these strips. You could use DSP, you could use some DSP and some embossed cardstock. You could just use cardstock. It's completely up to you. But I love, let me just get out my book here and hopefully it's on screen. And I've got, this is how I do my catalog. See how these little tabs? That way I can easily find what I'm, the suite that I'm looking for. So here's the beautiful suite that we're using this month, Expressions in Ink. Love it. And if you don't feel confident about watercoloring, it's perfect because both the DSP and the images in the stamp look like watercoloring when you stamp them. So even better, right? Oh, Leanne, what are you doing up? I have to do the math. Isn't it like 4 in the morning or something tomorrow? Gosh, maybe I'm going the wrong way. Or maybe it's the other way I'm supposed to go, actually. So it would be like, let me do the math. It would be like 4 o'clock tomorrow, 4 o'clock Monday in the afternoon. Is that right? I think so. She's in Perth. She's my friend from Perth. Okay, so here's this gorgeous DSP. I mean, isn't this gorgeous? It's the hardest part for me is picking a pattern, right? So you've got these beautiful gold filaments that are in it. Isn't that gorgeous? It reminds me of when we used to do a technique called polished stone, and we would the ink would spread by alcohol, and then we would add gold accents, and it was just so stunning. So those are one side, love, and then the other side is more of a neutral motted kind of look. Okay, so I decided for my card that I would actually use the DSP. I know it's too nice to cut up, but you've got to do it. It won't bleed, Sharon. If you cut your paper, it will not bleed. I promise. Okay, so let me bring in all the elements that I'm going to use today. So I'm going to start with my card base 5.5 by 8.5, and I'm going to score it at 4 1/4. Okay, so that's my base. And then I'm going to use this gorgeous DSP from the Expressions. Okay, and then I'm going to add an embellishment is going to be my gold faceted gems today. And I'm going to, of course, use the stamps and the dies. So let's get started on this. First of all, I think what I'll do is adhere my DSP to the front. So I'm using my favorite glue. Oh, good morning, Jan. How are you this morning? It's 1 a.m. She can't sleep in Perth, Australia. I know it's not from the heat because I know it turned cold there, which she loves. She loves coming to Canada in the winter. She loves it because it's so cold. Okay, so what I normally used to do, I would start in the middle and then work out, but I don't do that anymore. I have found that if I start at the edges, I'm using my trusty glue, which is just a thin layer. I find that I can line it up even better and hide any kind of errors. Isn't this gorgeous? Oh my gosh. This really is the most beautiful DSP. It's coming back in stock. It was back ordered for a while, but I think it's coming back or has come back. I didn't check the inventory status. One of my demo friends. Good morning, Marjorie. One of my demo friends can tell me if it's come back. Okay, so see what I mean? So I've put the edges on first, and then I don't have to worry too much about the gap or whatever. It kind of looks okay, whereas if I started in the middle, I might have ended up having to be too scrunched. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so that's the base of my card. Okay, now next I want to stamp some a greeting, and I also want to stamp some of the Artistically ink. So I'm going to go with this flower. I really love this one. And then I've got these leaves. Okay, so bringing in the colors from the paper, Pale Papaya and Pear Pizzazz. Let me ink this up. Isn't that great? Just, it's so, I love it. Love it. So simple. But more than I love the flower, I love these leaves. These leaves, when stamped, look at that. Isn't that gorgeous? It's already like a watercolored look. Like you stamped it and then you've added water and it's just run. Or you've picked up your ink with your brush. It's great. It's kind of idiot proof for people like me who aren't great at watercoloring. Okay. And then I also want a word. And I wanted a word that was quite substantial. I could have used happy birthday, but I felt it was too long. So I'm going to use thanks, because I always have thank you cards to send out to my customers. Okay, so I'm going to ink this up. This is in Memento. I could have chosen, I suppose, a different color, but I really wanted it to pop on the card because there's a lot of muted colors in here, right? Okay, so now I want to cut this out. So for that, I'm going to use my artistic dies. Now, this is what I do because I constantly lose dies. I know none of you do, but I'm constantly losing them. I actually lost this entire set until yesterday. I looked everywhere in my studio, everywhere, like everywhere. And then I have a rolly cart, and I just moved the cart to pick up something, and there it was underneath the cart. So the good news was I found it, but little pieces tend to go missing for me. It's not orderable. July the 5th. Okay, so that's tomorrow. Yay. Okay, it's my husband's birthday today. We're not American, but I wonder if he used to think the fireworks were for him anyway. Not sure. Okay, so remember my little tip. I always use this, my little Stampin' Emboss. I'm going to raise my arm. Hopefully the camera doesn't fly off. I use the number 3 plate. Even though it says for embossing folders, I use it for my die cuts. I've got my clear plate, and then I've got my images, and then I'm just going to line up my, somebody yesterday, oh, my friend Ange, she mentioned that she just gave up and bought some, what do you call it? Removable scotch, like it's like scotch tape, but it's temporary. My goodness, why am I having such a hard time lining this up? There we go. Oh, goodness. Okay. So they don't move. I don't tend to have too many problems on these little guys, but we shall see today. If I do. I can also use a post-it note, but I don't find those work as well for me. Okay, that looks good. Now I'm going to carefully, ever so carefully, lay down my plate, and that should be fine. And run it through. What I love about these new machines of ours, especially the big one, is they're so smooth to run through. I mean, it's unbelievable how smooth they are. Okay, so there's my images, and of course, here's my magnetic. I put my dies on there so I don't lose them. All right. I think the trick is to put things away when you're finished using them, right? Okay, leave that off. Excuse me. All right, bring this down a little bit. So there I've got my flower and my leaf, and I've got my words. So now it's just a matter of bringing this back in. Let me remind you of the sketch. Whoops, so you can see, okay? So I've done this part, right? And I've done these, okay? And now I'm just gonna add some elements. You do not have to do this exactly like the sketch, remember? So have a look at Patsy's today. Hers is different. I want to glue my flower, leaves to the back of my flower. So I'm going to grab my glue and figure out where I want this first. I think that little opening might work. Yeah, I think that works. So I'm just going to put glue here, the titch of glue. Of course, if you like to use seal or anything like that, you're welcome to do that. And I'm gonna let that just sit for 2 secs and get ready with my dimensionals because I want to pop this up. It's just, I like the look of popping it up, okay? So I'm gonna set that aside for a sec so I can add my words. This is a great layout for any leftover DSP you've got. Right, so, oh my goodness, am I out of my glue? Will I have to start a new one? I might. Whoop, no, of course, it came squirting out like a million miles an hour. So what I'm gonna do is normally I would never put that much glue on because I would worry that it was gonna squeeze out. But I can fix this with the other end. I'm gonna just spread it out a bit, right? There we go, so that's not so dangerous. Okay. And I'm gonna just pop that on there like so. Okay, then I got my little flower again. And pop him up. You can maybe like that. Okay, and then to finish it off, I wanted something with gold in it because there's a lot of gold accents in this paper. So I've got my gold faceted gems here. And I take a pick. And I think I want to put one in the middle of my flower. Okay, so like that. And I want to add a few more. So I tend to use the old rule of kind of a triangular look here. So I've got a medium one, a small one, and now I'm going to use a large one. And there we go. How's that? Okay. And that's it. There's my sketch. There's my card. Get them side by side, I guess. What do you think? Now, this paper is apparently going to be back in stock. Oh, Leanne, it's Leanne's favorite glue too. See, I knew we weren't friends for nothing. This paper is not on sale in the DSP sale, but let me show you what is on sale. So I'm going to pick these up. at 15% off. And there's no limit, and you can mix and match. You can do whatever you'd like. They're just individually priced at 15% off. So we've got Beauty of the Earth. I used that in my last week's card. It's gorgeous paper, beautiful for the fall. So for Leanne, it's perfect for you. You're running, yes, quick and easy, Janet, I agree. So fast, right? Like, how many different cards could you make? Like, quick. Bloom Where You Planted. This is, I don't have this yet. I just ordered this bundle, and the paper's coming. Hand penned. You cannot have enough hand penned. In Good Taste. This is one that was brought forward from last year. It is a fabulous deal, because there are, instead of 12 sheets, there's 24 sheets. So it's a really good deal. Lots of great cards for masculine looks, or anyone really. In the Wild, now I don't own this one. It's not something I'm drawn to, but I could see certainly the other side of this paper being really good for masculine and kids, okay? Favorite, Pansy Petals. This paper, which we've talked about before because I've used it in a card, it has the printed pansies on it. You can cut out over 100 pansies, okay? Oh, hi, Jacqueline. Nice to see you. You can watch the replay. Sweet Symmetry. Now, this did not appeal to me originally. I'm just going to grab it. Here it is in the book. However, I've started to play with it. And if you join me on Thursday in my Facebook Live, so this coming Thursday at 7 p.m. Pacific time, I'm going to make a card with this because I'm using it in a class that I'm doing with Ange McKay. So check back with that. So I've grown to love it. Tidings of Christmas, can't go wrong with that. Perfect for your Christmas cards. And then another favorite of mine, it's a tie between these three, Hand Pen Pansies and You're a Peach. I absolutely love this paper. It's gorgeous. What's your favorite paper? Oh, you do, Sharon. Yeah, I wasn't sure at the beginning if I liked the Symmetry bundle. In fact, I knew I did not. But both Patsy and Ange are like, just try it. You'll love it. Just try it. So I did. So that's going to be next week's, like Thursday's share. All right. So I like to always share with you. My cards are always fast on. Hi, Carol. Nice to see you. My cards are always fast on Sundays, right? Because the point is that I want you to be able to do something real quick from a sketch. I want it to be a starting point for you. But let me show you. I have tons of cards, okay? So let me show you some of my favorites. I'll show you some more next week. We love this bundle so much, Patsy and I. I think I mentioned at the beginning that it is our free PDF this month, right? We're also running a class to go. So if you want the bits to make 4 cards from our PDF, then we sell the class for, I think it's $22 Canadian, 20 US. So if you're joining me from the US, check out my partner, stampstodiefor.com, okay? So here's a card. Again, this is using the dies and the gold paper and then embossing right on the designer series paper, right? So easy. This was one that's not really a traditional card, if you think about it. But this has been cut, so you've got the positive, which is the actual die cut out, right, has been put back into the negative. Okay, I'm very fortunate that I have lots of friends who are very talented stampers, and they sent me those 2 cards. Here's one of mine, really simple. So simple. In fact, I think this was one I cased from the catalog. It had different paper and a different stamp set, but I used it. And I do love these gold gems because it really picks it up. Would work well with picture this rectangular dies. Yes, Mo, I agree, it would. Here's one I did for a class a long time ago. A long time ago when the catalog came out. It seems like a long time ago, but a couple months. So using the paper and the die. Okay. And this was also from that class. And let me show you, let me tempt you with a couple. This is one of the cards in the PDF this month. Ooh, cat hair. It's not in the class, but it is part of the PDF. So if you were to order the class with the 4 cards, you would get the instructions for this card. Okay, because there's 6 cards altogether. If that makes sense. I love this. Look at this. And the way I got this stuck was, it's easy if you use those sheets. I've talked about these before, right? Like these adhesive sheets. So you stick your cardstock on top, you run it through the die cut machine, and then the back peels off. And it's a lot easier to stick it on. Okay, so let's see here if I got a couple more. Because you're joining me, I feel like I should show you a card from the PDF. Here's one. Pretty sure this is from the PDF. Oh dear. Yes, Carol, watch the replay, but I'll bring back the card that I made at the end just so you can see it, okay? So, ooh, I'm not really on camera. Sorry, guys. I haven't really been looking. Sorry. I raised it, lowered it, crookeded it. Anyway, so let me explain my Border Buddy program again. So I work with my Border Buddy, Patsy Wagner, who's in Minnesota. And we work together to bring classes and PDFs and ideas to our customer bases on both sides of the border. So she sells to the US demo customers, and I sell to the Canadian. So we produce a PDF every month. And when you make a purchase of any value in our stores, you receive the PDF for free. And this month we're featuring the expressions in ink. We also offer a class to go based on the PDF. So if you like the PDF and you want all the bits and pieces to go, so you can quickly put together cards with your stamp set, because you will need the stamps and dies to make the cards, right? You just provide the ink and whatnot. Then check out our blog, my blog today, Stamp Crazy with Allison, and you'll find the links for all of that, okay? And you can see Patsy's interpretation of the sketch. These sketches are ones that are exclusive to us, Border Buddies, but anybody can use them. So if you like it and you want to use it, even on your blog, as long as you don't remove the copyright, the watercolor mark, you're good to go. You can use that. Okay, so again, here's our card for today, and that was good. I hope I'm not talking too fast. I just think the cards that I make on Sundays are fairly simple, and that you can just kind of whip them up. So if you use the sketch and you want to post something, I'd love to see it in the comments. So if you make a card, please post it. I really like to see it. Hello, Gloria. Thanks for joining. Thanks, Janet. All right, everyone. I'm going to let you go so I can go celebrate my husband's birthday. And you all have a great day. And I'll see you Thursday for my next live. Thursday, 7 p.m. Pacific time, right here on my Facebook page. Okay. Have a good day, everyone.